Hey friends, we are moving right along in Module 4, What Makes the Continents Fascinating. We are discovering the world all around us as we are safe at home. Let's take a look at our focusing question for these lessons. How can a story transport you to a different place? Remember, these stories are transporting us in our imagination. So get ready to use your imagination today. Our focus question for today, our content focus question is, what does a deeper exploration in the words and illustrations reveal in ... I didn't have enough room to fit this long title, Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears. So I knew I would just read it to you, so I just put that ... there. Let's head over to our reading area, friends, and let's get started on this lesson today. We're going to take a closer look at our poem, Lion's Roar, and I hope that you've been enjoying reading this fun poem. We're looking closer at the words in this poem and thinking about what they mean and what a fun poem it is. Lions roar, lions roar. Eagles soar, flying through the sky. Leopards growl, cheetahs prowl, snakes slide, eagles glide, lizards crawl, jackals call, monkeys leap, snails creep, ants heap. What does that mean that ants heap, friends? Well, they pile up their sand and rocks as they move along and make their ant hills. Sometimes you'll see them heap up and stack food or bits of leaves. They heap up, they pile up things. Fledglings peep. Remember, fledgling is a baby bird. They beep, 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 or make that baby bird sound. Birds sing, wasps sting, panthers stalk. That means they go after their prey. And people talk. I think you know what that means. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed our Lion's Roar poem and taking a little bit closer look at the words in this poem. Let's take a look at our book now. But first, I'm going to put up our evidence organizer because the last time that we read our text, we used this evidence organizer to help organize our thinking around what we used and how we used the illustrations in the story. And we used the illustrations to discover what the animals looked like in the Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears. So the text doesn't say, as we read along, iguanas are green, but when we took a closer look at the illustrations, we knew that the iguana is green. He has a stick in his ears. He's short. We knew that the python is purple with no legs and is long. We knew that the rabbit is gray with big ears and big eyes. We knew that the crow is black with wings and a beak, and the monkey is brown with a long tail and long arms. So today we're going to take a closer look at the illustrations. The illustrations before, they helped us understand what the animals look like. Today we're going to take a look at the illustrations and the words and think about how the animals move in this story. So join me as we go over some of the pages in the book. So starting on the title page, Why Do Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears? You can see, and I'm wondering, do the illustrations in this text move? No, they don't. It's not like TV, but sometimes the illustrator, Leo and Diane Dillon, what they did to help us understand that the animals are moving was put two of the same animals. So it's almost like you could see the mosquito turning and flying away. It's a way that the illustrator wanted you to understand that the animals do move in this story. We'll look at other examples of that in the text. One morning, a mosquito saw an iguana drinking at the water hole. The mosquito said, "Iguana, you will never believe what I saw yesterday." "Try me," said the iguana. The mosquito said, "I saw a farmer digging yams that were almost as big as I am." "What's a mosquito compared to a yam?" snapped the iguana grumpily. "I would rather be deaf than listen to such nonsense." Then he stuck 2 sticks in his ears and went off meck, 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 meck through the reeds. Let's listen to find out how the author describes exactly how the iguana moves. We heard meck, 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 but what does that mean? It says the iguana was still grumbling to himself when he happened to pass by a python. The big snake raised his head and said, "Good morning, iguana." The iguana did not answer, but lumbered on, bobbing his head, badamin, badamin, badamin. So we know that lumbering means walks slow, and we know that the iguana bobs his head. So taking a closer look at the illustrations and thinking about what the text meant like that, we know how the iguana moves. Well, let's think about the python. Let's read the rest of the page and let's talk about how the python moves. It says, "Now why won't he speak to me?" said the python to himself. "Iguana must be angry about something. I'm afraid he's plotting some mischief against me." He began looking for somewhere to hide. The first likely place he found was a rabbit hole, and in he went, wassa-woo, wassa-woo, wassa-woo. Well, that doesn't really tell us how the snake moved, but you can see that there's 2 snakes here. The snake facing this way, it's the same snake, but now he's moving. And you can see that he's moving his body, doesn't have any legs, and he's moving his body in this S-like pattern. So he's slithering and gliding. So I know that the python slithers and slides when I really think about what's happening in the text and look at those illustrations even closer. Well, what about the rabbit? When the rabbit saw the big snake coming into her burrow, she was terrified. She scurried out through her back way and bounded crick, crick, crick across a clearing. And you can see she looks really afraid, and there's this leap out. But then on the very next page, the first line says, "A crow saw the rabbit running for her life." So looking at that picture of her hopping out of the rabbit hole and knowing that she was running for her life, we know that the rabbit runs out and hops away very fast. So we're really, really thinking about what the author wanted us to understand about how, and the illustrator both wanted us to understand how the rabbit moved. Well, let's think about what happens with the crow, another one of the main characters in the story. A crow saw that the rabbit was running for her life. He flew into the forest crying, "Caw, caw, caw." It was his duty to spread the alarm in case of danger. A monkey heard the crow. So let's think. The crow flies away, and we know that the crow says, "Caw, caw, caw." You know that he says it, and the monkey heard it. And the monkey heard the crow. He was sure that some dangerous beef was prowling near. He began screeching and leaping gilly-willy through the trees to help warn the other animals. As the monkey was crashing through the treetops, he happened upon a dead limb. It broke and fell onto the owl's nest, killing one of the owlets. So sad. So we know that the monkey jumps, he leaps on the branches by looking closer at the words and illustrations. All right, so the last thing we're going to do today in our story, friends, I want you to take a really close look at the illustrations on this page. So in school, if we were working on our focusing question task, I would be asking you, what is really happening in this picture? Does it show a real moment or an imaginary moment? So this is a good time that maybe you could talk to your family member in your house about what is happening in this illustration. Is this really happening in the story, or is it the imagination of one of the characters in the story retelling what happened? So this is an important time to think about what's really happening. Pause the video if you need to and take a look. I'll read the words too. King Lion called the python, who came slithering, wassa woo, past the other animals. But King, he cried, it was the iguana's fault. He wouldn't speak to me, and I thought he was plotting some mischief against me. When I crawled into the rabbit's hole, I was only trying to hide. The king said to the council, so it was the iguana who frightened the python, who scared the rabbit, who startled the crow, who alarmed the monkey, who killed the owlet, and now Mother Owl won't wake the sun so that the day can come. Friends, remember back to that first page with the iguana. That's what's really happening in the story. But when we see on this page, the sticks almost look like scary fire, and the iguana has these big sharp teeth. Friends, this is just the python's imagination about what happened. And if we were in school together today, I would want you to write a sentence about this story and how you know that. What part of the illustration or the words in the text helps you understand that this is just the python's imagination about the iguana? All right, keep thinking about that. Talk to your parents about it. Write it down if you want to, and we'll see you later. Bye.